Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga Restore. My name is Danielle. I'm so excited that you could join me today. So Yoga Restore is a nice, gentle practice. We flow through several hatha style poses, and we end with some deep stretches and relaxation. So you're not going to need any equipment for your practice today. However, I will be demonstrating some poses with yoga blocks. If you have tight calves or hamstrings and would like to use a block and you have blocks at home, you can go ahead and grab 2 of those. Otherwise, just roll out your yoga mat. Make yourself comfortable. Perhaps turn off distractions such as your cell phone. You can put some soft music, dim lighting in the background, anything that's going to help you feel calm and relaxed. I hope you enjoy today's practice. So we'll go ahead and make our way to our yoga mat. So once you get yourself situated and you find a comfortable spot, you turn off any distractions, as I mentioned before. I'm just going to invite you to take a nice, comfortable seat. So you can begin your practice in any way that feels right for you. You can be seated. Perhaps if you're extra tired, you can lay down. It really is up to you. So we're going to take a few moments for a mindful check-in now. And I think today I'm going to actually relax on my back with my knees not together. But again, if it's more comfortable to be seated, that's fine too. Wherever you're at, finding your comfortable spot, I invite you to soften your gaze down towards the ground or gently close the eyes if that feels right for you. Let's take a few deep breaths together. In through your nose and exhale through the nose or the mouth. If you've had a stressful day so far, take a few long exhales and maybe imagine that you're sending out any tension or stress on the exhalation. Letting that tension go. Breathe in and relax. Take a few more breaths, breathing in and relax. Begin to find a comfortable pattern of breathing, not forcing the breath or holding on to it, but simply noticing as it moves in and out of the body. To help facilitate this, you can place a hand or both hands, maybe one on the chest or the belly, and just start to notice the rise and the fall of the breath as it moves through the body. Just allow things to settle, taking this time for yourself. As we take just a few more moments to kind of hit the reset button on our day, taking a moment of pause, I invite you to take just a moment and see if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today. See if you can set a word or a phrase for your practice. When the mind wanders, you can gently guide it back to your breathing and to this intention that you have set for yourself. Good. Just take 1 or 2 more nice deep breaths. Feeling grounded to this moment, feeling present. So if you chose to lie on your back, go ahead and make your way to a comfortable seat. If you're seated, just take a moment or two to center into the body, maybe doing small stretches, the head, the neck, shoulders. And then once we get there, let's go ahead. Excuse me, getting more relaxed already. And start to stretch our head and neck. So from your comfortable seat, you can just relax your arms down at your sides. I invite you to take one ear towards one shoulder. And you can take a moment and reach your opposite fingertips down so that you elongate the stretch down the neck into the shoulder. Take a big inhale, exhale, good. And then float your head up and bring your ear to your opposite shoulder and then reach fingertips down towards the other side. Reach and relax and settle. And then from there, float the head up and let's tuck the chin towards the chest. If you'd like here, you can move your head a little from side to side, relaxing your neck. Good. Just try to release any tension you may be storing in your neck. And then slowly allow the head to float up. Now we're going to do some very gentle head circles. Do be mindful of when we get to taking the head to the back that you do not throw the neck back. So we're going to take our chin towards one shoulder, slowly draw the chin through the midline of the body up to the other shoulder, and then very gently look up. We're going to do this 3 more times. So if you find you are prone to dizziness and would like to keep your gaze close to the center, you can do that as well. So let's go ahead and do this 2 more times. Nice little circle. Big inhale, exhale, and one last circle. Good. Just starting to tune in to where you're holding on to tension in the body. Great, let's go ahead and let's start to roll our shoulders here. We're going to roll them up, back, and down, up, back, and down. One more time, up, back, and down, and then just bring your hands down by your sides. We're going to practice some shoulder shrugs with breath today. So what I want you to do is scrunch your shoulders up towards your ears, tight, tight, tight. We're going to take an inhale, and then audibly through the mouth, we're going to exhale and drop. I really want you to feel the difference between that tight scrunch and that complete release. Let's try that 3 more times. Here we go. Big inhale, scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And drop. Let it go. Great. Here we go. Let's do a few more. Inhale, scrunch. Exhale, let go. Great. Inhale, scrunch. Exhale, let go. And one more. Inhale, scrunch. And exhale, let go. Great. Just let those shoulders be heavy. Let them be supported. Let things start to descend down towards gravity. Good. All right, let's go into a lovely stretch for our torso, some torso circles. So we're going to take our torso to one side, through center, other side, and around. So we're going to draw circles with that torso. And if you've done this practice before, I'm going to invite you to play around a little bit with the size of your circle. So I'm demonstrating a very big circle, right? But you can also keep it really small, maybe more up in the chest, and that'll give you a slightly different stretch. So go ahead and play around with maybe the size of your circle. Good. You may notice if you're doing a really big circle that when you come forward, you feel a stretch in the low back. Whereas if you make your circle small, you might feel that in the mid back. All right, let's try to change directions with our circle. So maybe going another way. Good. Awesome. Maybe let's change from that big circle to a slightly smaller circle. And please don't be discouraged if your back is super tight and it's difficult to make a circle with your chest. Know that with practice and with being on the mat today, working towards your flexibility, things will start to loosen up over time. Good. All right, let's go ahead and start to complete that for ourselves. Sitting up nice and tall. And now we're just going to take a big inhale, and I want you to arch the chest forward. If you want, you can look up towards your ceiling. Good. For our seated cat, and now tuck the chest, pull in the belly, create a C curve here with your spine for our seated cow. Good, let's do this again. Inhale, arch. And exhale, curve. Chin to chest. One more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, chin to chest. Good. Awesome. All right, we're going to try actually to do a few things with this idea of the flexion of the spine. So I'm going to sit sideways, but you can still face forward. We're going to take our knees out in front of us, our feet on the mat, and you can choose how far away you want your legs to be. From here, we're going to take and rope our fingers underneath of one of our knees. And basically, we're going to inhale, exhale, make that lovely cat pose. So that arch in the spine, and we're going to lift a foot. Okay, so this is a little bit of a stretch, wiggle the toes, and then inhale up. Let's try that with that same leg 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, lower lift. Yeah, getting the idea? Let's try that again. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, lift the foot, hollow out the belly. Good. All right, let's try that with our left leg. So threading our fingers through, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, lift that foot. You can take a minute, wiggle the toes. Circle your ankle. And again, inhale, arch. Exhale. Good, stretch that foot. Here you go, one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. All right, let's bring the foot up. Now we're going to challenge ourselves just a little bit more with waking up our core with our boat pose. Now, if boat pose is too challenging, the variation I show you is too challenging for you, please go back as we work through it to alternating lifting one leg at a time like we just did. So now we're going to take our arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Hollow out the belly, and then see if you can lift one foot and then the other and balance on your tailbone. You can bend the knees here. If you prefer a challenge, you can start to extend the legs. All right, we're going to come back up. So kind of like we're doing a little rock here, like a rocking horse. We're going to inhale, exhale, lift. You can take your time to find your lift. Point your toes if you can, and then inhale, come up. Let's try that 3 more times. Inhale, exhale, lift. Good. Inhale, exhale, lift. Good. Inhale, exhale, lift. Good. And inhale, come up. This next one you're gonna love. We're already all ready for it and in position. We're gonna do a movement called rolling like a ball. So make sure you're about halfway in the middle of your mat. We're gonna go ahead now and we're gonna roll back and forward, giving our back a massage. Let's try this a few more times. Back and forward. Back, forward. This one's fun. Back. Just have a bit of fun with it. Forward. Back. Forward. Let's do 4 more. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward, last one, back and forward. Good, cross your legs and just reach forward and relax. So I did mention that I'll be demonstrating a few moves with blocks today, but it is not mandatory to have them. If you do have them though, whenever we're forward folding, so we're folding over our body, sometimes a nice restorative option for that You can take a block and sit it up tall, like I've done here. So you can sit it flat, or this is our tall setting. And you can relax your forehead down, giving yourself just a little support. If you want to go lower in any pose, then you put it down on a lower edge. You can play around with that to see what works best for you. Go ahead and take 2 breaths here. Great. Let's go ahead and slowly come up. If you do have blocks and you enjoy working with them, go ahead and keep one handy and set it right in the middle of your space. Come on up to a nice straddle position. Find a position that's comfortable for you. Point your toes towards the ceiling in our flexed position. And let's take one arm over. Nice side body stretch. Good. And then inhale, come up, other side over. Good. Come on up. And then here, if you're using a block, is a great place to do so. Let the body come forward, find that spot of resistance, and then perhaps you can rest your head, your hands on the surface. Or again, if you do not have a block, just reach forward to your comfort level. And let's take about 2 breaths in our posture of choice. Good. And then whenever you're ready, you can start to come up. There's never any hurry. It is said that forward folds are very calming to the mind. So if you ever are having an extra frazzled day and you want to stay a little longer in poses such as this, you sure can. So we'll go ahead and set your block out of the way. Let's take those legs in, soles of the feet together, and let's find our bound angle. And you can hold on to your instep or your toes and gently fold forward. Awesome. Awesome. Let's go ahead and slowly come up, bring those knees together, and then let's go ahead and make our way to our tabletop position. We'll be working through a few things on hands and knees. As always, make sure that you feel comfortable. So if you need a little blanket or folded towel for extra support under your knees, go ahead and grab that. We'll be working through a few poses down on the mat and then making our way up for a moon salutation today. So let's go ahead and find our tabletop position. Spread fingers wide, knees right under hips. And let's begin with cat and cow one more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, lower. Good, one more time. Inhale, arch. And exhale, lower. Great. Let's go ahead back to that nice neutral spine. And let's go ahead and take our right knee out to the side. We're going to start by drawing circles with our knee, kind of get into that hip socket a bit. Good. And then go ahead and take the knee in towards your chest, and then exhale, kick it out behind you. We're going to do this about 4 more times. So we'll take an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Give yourself a nice calf stretch here. Good. Nice calf stretch. And then from here, we're going to transfer over to a modified side plank into gate pose. So how we'll do that is I want you to start by turning that right toe out slightly. So notice how my quad is towards the screen. We're going to lift up with our right hand. Good. From here, big inhale brings you up and stretch over that straight leg. Good. You can look up towards your hand. Good. All right, let's windmill the arms around. And we're going to try that on the other side. So let's get ready with our left leg. Let's take our knee out and we're going to draw circles with those hips again. Notice how one side may feel different than the other. When you're ready, kick that foot out behind you. Take a moment to wiggle your toes, circle your ankle. Good. And then when you're ready, 4 times, let's bring knee to chest and kick out. Knee to chest, kick out. Knee to chest, kick, and knee to chest, kick. Good. Go ahead and tuck up those toes. Get that nice calf stretch. Remember to breathe nice and smooth. And now we'll go into that side modified plank. So turn that left foot out, left hand reaches up. And then from here, come on up. I'll demonstrate towards you, but up and over. Good. For our gate pose on the other side. Awesome. Let's go ahead, come on up, all the way up. And now while we're up here, let's go ahead and gently balance on your knees, again, using a cushion if needed. Take your hands in the small of your back, tuck your toes, press your hips forward. Good. And now I just want you to open the chest. So you can look maybe up towards your ceiling, pressing the hips. So this is the positioning that we need for our camel pose. It is a common misconception that camel pose is a deep back bend. A lot of people approach it by immediately bending back. And I tell folks, please make sure to press forward with the hips first. All right, from here, if you have a block and you'd like to use it, you're going to place it right in between your heels. If you don't have one, no problem. We're going to take one hand up, press the hips forward, and then you can try to grab onto your block or maybe touch your opposite heel with your hand here as I'm demonstrating. So this is just a camel pose variation. Inhale. Exhale, come on up. Switch hands, press the hips forward and reach. Breathe. Good. Come on up. And to counterpose that, let's go ahead and reach forward. Find your child's pose. Open your knees wide and stretch. Good. Let's go ahead now and slowly come to all fours. And I invite you to step your right leg forward into a lunge. Good. So from here, we're going to do lunge twists today. And if you do find you need that little extra lift or support, this is where you could place your hands on a block. And that just lifts the chest a bit higher, which is more comfortable for some folks. Okay, so from here, you're going to lift your left knee off of the mat. And then you're going to reach your right hand forward and then open your chest. So lift towards the ceiling. And then here's our seat block variation. Good. Let's go ahead and float that hand down, and we're just going to switch sides. So we'll go ahead, let's take a little bit of strengthening here. Let's come to plank position. So you can lift your hips into downward dog and then slowly, slowly start to lift to the top of a push-up, strengthening that core. Awesome. And then step your left foot forward. So again, that's a slightly more challenging way to get into this lunge. If you need to at any time, you can come to hands and knees and make your way from there. So from here, and I'll show again that variation with the block, we're going to take our left hand forward and then spiral up to the ceiling. Good. Let's go ahead and bring that down. Awesome. Back to our downward dog. Pedal out those feet. And then let's walk or hop to the middle of our mat. And let's start to make our way up to standing for our moon salutation. And if you have a block and you have tight legs, keep them handy. I'll show you a few ways you can use them here. So let's go ahead, inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, lower. And then in your own time, big inhale will bring you all the way up to standing. Good. Let's stand with our feet close together. And let's do gentle back and side bends. So when you're ready, you can begin. Big inhale, back bend. Lean to one side. Breathe through center and lean to the other side. Great. Relax your shoulders down from your ears. Step nice and wide for me here. And let's reach our hands out wide like a star. We're going to squat down for horse pose. Drop your shoulder blades down, your back. Feel like they're pressing together. Chest is nice and open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. One more time. Big inhale, reach up high. Exhale, lower. Good. Feeling like you're really taking up some space here. Now I want you to turn right toes out, left toes in, and let's come into warrior two, going towards the right. Good. Relax the body. Let's go right into side angle, left hand up, right hand down. So you can rest your elbow right on that leg. You could use a block if you were using them at the higher or slightly lower setting. Or you can reach your hands down towards the earth. Good. Reach. Awesome. Let's come on up. Keep your stance right where it is. Flip your front palm and reverse warrior is next. Good. All right, come on back to warrior two. And now I want you to start to straighten your front leg and come down for our triangle pose. Look up towards your hand. Good. From here, we're going to be coming down for a lunge. So if, again, you need any cushions, blocks, go ahead and grab them. So we're going to bring our hand down, pivot around that back foot so both toes are facing one side of the mat. I'll demonstrate with blocks. So we're going to drop that back left knee down. Right foot is forward, and then inhale, little gentle back bend here. If that feels right for you, modification, you can have your hands on your knee. Good. We're going to add a little extra stretch here today. Let's go ahead and straighten the front leg, coming into our half splits. And here's our block variation. Or you can use your hands right there. Okay, let's bend that front knee, hands on the inside of that right leg, lift your left knee up, and let's come to a side lunge. So I've got my hands down, my left or right knee is bent, left is straight. You can use a block here or modify keeping it up high. All right, let's come to center. I want you to bend both knees and kind of like horse pose. We're here, walk your heels in slightly and see if you can drop your buttocks down. You can bring your hands together at the heart for our garland pose. If you have any knee issues, please feel free to skip this posture or come into horse pose again, which is much higher up. We will review that on the way up. Good. I'm going to take this opportunity in our moon salutation to move my blocks over to the other side of the mat. We're going to be coming up from this side. So let's go ahead and let's find our side lunge on the other side. So now we're going to bend our left knee, straighten the right leg. Good. And walk around to the side. Again, if you're using blocks, please feel free to grab them. We're going to drop that back knee. Come on up, relax here, or take a back bend. All right, straighten the front leg, head to knee. Good. Really nice. All right, let's bend the knee. And we're going to start to make our way up. Let's go into our pyramid pose. So we're going to start to straighten the leg. We've got our head to knee here, both feet facing this edge of the mat. Breathe and relax. Again, using your blocks at any time if you want to add a little height to your stretch. Focus and stay present. From here, we'll go into our Trikonasana triangle pose. So you're going to take your left hand, bring it on the inside of that left leg, and reach your right hand up. Again, I'm showing the block variation. Without blocks, you can be here, here, maybe up high. For regression, you can keep it up higher. Good. All right, from triangle pose, let's go ahead and bend that left knee. And we'll come up for just a moment to warrior two to kind of reset. So we're in that warrior two, front knee bent, arms straight, and then we'll go into side angle. So right hand up, left hand resting on the leg, block your variation. Let's go into reverse warrior. So back to warrior two, flip the front palm and stretch. Good. Make sure you're not feeling any tension in those wrists. All right, back to warrior two. You're doing great. I'm going to get the block out of the way. I don't think I'll need it anymore. Let's turn both toes towards the front. Where we started, big inhale for me, squat down, find that horse pose. Good. And let's just play around with horse pose for just a moment. I want you to think about pressing the elbows together and then opening. Let's try that 3 more times. Press, open, press, open. 1 more. Press and open. Big inhale reaches up. Bring your feet together, thread those fingers together. And back and side bends 1 last time. Big inhale, come through center, and other side. Good. Like a full moon, bring those arms all the way around. And let's finish with hands to the heart. And just take a moment, let the body settle. Noticing how you are feeling today. Good, I hope you found that gentle flow to be a fun, interesting variation. So let's go ahead, we're gonna do 1 more little mini kind of balancing posture here before we come down for some final stretches. So what I'd like you to try with me is start by bringing your hands to your hips, and let's begin with our right leg. We're gonna take our right leg right behind us, almost as if we're gonna, like a little girl would do a curtsy, right? So we're gonna take that right foot behind us, keep that left leg straight, not locked. And now we're gonna take our right hand over. So right leg behind, right hand over. And then I want you to slightly lean that right side of the hip over to the right. So if any of this seems confusing to you, you can do this exact same stretch with feet close together. What we're going for is with that foot behind, we just get a little extra stretch in the hip, IT band, right? All right, let's go ahead, and it's a little bit of a balance. Let's switch sides. So now we're gonna cross our left leg behind us. So you can have your foot on the toe, like I'm showing right here, or you can gently tuck the toes under. This will give you just a little more of a stretch within the front of the foot. We're gonna take our left arm over, find your stretch, shift the hips off to the left, and just breathe. Good. So important to take time to stretch the hips. They're one of the areas where a lot of adults hold a great deal of tension. All right, big inhale brings you up. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a little hug here, opening the backs of our shoulder blades. And we're going to come down with a forward fold. We're going to work with gorilla pose, taking the fingers underneath of our feet, and then we'll come to seated. So when you're ready, go ahead and fold. Bend your knees here as much as you need to. And then if you'd like to try gorilla, gently step onto those fingers. And then bend the elbows and pull. So you feel an opening between the shoulder blades, deepening in your stretch. You can adjust your hand placement. Good. Take maybe 1 or 2 more breaths here. You can come out early if it's uncomfortable. And then slowly, when you're ready, you can release and make your way down to a comfortable seat. Good. Grab some water if you'd like. Let's take just a moment as well to relieve any tension that with our gentle flow, maybe you experience in your wrists. Our hands and feet do a lot for us throughout the day. It's good to give them some attention as well. So we're going to finish with supported bridge pose. And for this one, you do need a block or a cushion just to relax into it. Again, if you don't have these items, then you're going to just do regular bridge pose, which is a more active version of this pose. So that means you'll just be using your muscles to lift your body. Whereas with the support underneath, you can relax and this holds your body up. So either way is okay. And then after we do our supported bridge and we hang out there for a moment, we'll go right into our Shavasana, our meditation. So go ahead and have your block or cushion handy if you're using it. You're going to come onto your back once more. Bring your heels close to your hips like I'm demonstrating here. And then go right into your bridge pose. So without any equipment, you're just going to lift and hold. Make sure you can breathe and talk, lift your hips, and just hang out here. And you can do a few rounds of this so that you don't have to hold it the whole time. Just find out what works best for you. Now, if you have equipment and you do have a block or cushion, you're going to set it at one of the lower settings underneath of your hips. You want it on the low back, right about at the sacrum area. Good. And what this does is it makes the stretch just a little more passive. You're still stretching, but the block is holding you up. So go ahead and play around with this. Find out which setting of the block works best for you. If you like it and it feels good, you can relax here for a few breaths. If you don't, please feel free to come on down. Take just a few breaths here. There are several different ways that you can access a yoga pose. This is an example of what we call a passive stretch. Active is usually where you hold everything muscularly like we just demonstrated. Passive is where you relax into a pose. Both have great benefits. So when we do a more passive pose such as this, we're really looking for the letting go into a pose, the releasing of effort. Whereas if you're doing it in a more active context, then you're going to think about really engaging the muscles. So restorative style just helps us to calm the nervous system a bit more. Take a big breath and let it go. Good. One last breath in your posture of choice. Remembering if you do not have equipment, you can calm down. Good. And then those of you that are using a block or cushion, go ahead and whenever you're ready, slowly move your prop. And come on down. Let's go ahead and finish by hugging knees into the chest. You can rock a little side to side. And then we're going to allow the knees to fall over to one side. So whenever you're ready, knees to chest, and so lower. Gentle twist. Let's try that to the other side. So you're going to gently lift your knees up and allow them to fall over to the left. Allow that low back to release. Contract your abs in. Good. Let's go ahead and come all the way up. Hug those knees to the chest one more time. And now I'm going to invite you at this time to stretch out the body nice and long. Give yourself a full body stretch. And then whenever you're ready, take just a few moments to gently close your eyes and release all effort in your Shavasana for today. Allow the breath to be smooth and calm. Think of it as if it's the waves of an ocean coming in and out. Good. And let's take just a few moments to return to the breath, or perhaps return to our intention, our mantra, a phrase that we set at the beginning of our practice. Know that taking time for yourself is never time wasted. That it is very important to recharge from time to time. When you're ready, we'll start to bring movement back to the body. Little wiggles of your fingers or your toes. Give yourself a full body stretch. And start to roll over onto your side. When you're ready, go ahead and gently pull up to a comfortable seat. You can start to open your eyes if you have not already. Feel free to adjust or move in any way until you transition to seated. And then we'll conclude today's practice by taking a big inhale. Bring the arms together at the heart, bringing in that calm, clear, focused energy. Thank you for joining me today. I wish you a peaceful rest of your day. See you next time. Bye. Namaste. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.